and the National Assembly Education Committee Chairperson Julius Melly has revealed that the proposed junior secondary school teaching interns are set to receive confirmation on permanent and pensionable basis earlier than anticipated, disclosing that the confirmation is now slated for the beginning of the next financial year, which commences on the 1st of July 2024.
Maybe from below 2000 up to maybe 2015, just come up with an affirmative action that among teachers that are going to be employed, let us take that category because they will reach the retirement age before they're employed.
What is the cost for hiring on permanent and pensionable all the 46,000 JSS and other interns, and bringing back time from January 2025 to July 2024. We'd want you to give us the cost.
Budget and Appropriations Committee members, however, sought to understand how much it will cost to hire all the 46,000 junior secondary school teaching interns on permanent and pensionable terms, including the capitation for backdating of employment date from January 1st, 2025 to July 1st, 2024, as well as how much it will be needed to cater for the school feeding program without considering the supplementary budget, as well as what exactly has been allocated for renovations of schools affected by the heavy rains that wreaked havoc across some parts of the country.
I also want to commend you because the decision you made on employing the GSS just before December will be a very good thing rather than next year.
In their presentation, Teacher Service Commission had indicated to us that the interns will be converted into permanent and pensionable in January next year, which actually we felt as a committee, if the financial year begins in July.
MP Melly said the parliament has further instated a school feeding program for learners across public institutions in the country, insisting that at least 28 billion shillings will be required to hire 46,000 teachers on P&P, with the government providing 8.3 billion shillings which will cater for 20,000 teachers, with the further 4.7 billion set aside for hiring more teaching interns, even though members felt that hiring of interns ought to be scraped off with all the allocations channeled to hire more teachers.
Probably this amount we have allocated for hiring an additional intern teachers, collapse it to permanent and pensionable and absorb teachers within that permanent and pensionable, because there's a case in court by the teacher union against employment of interns.
Capitation. Capitation is a problem at all levels, all the way from primary school, secondary school, and it is a matter, Mr. Chairman, you need to help this country.
Melly says the government will need at least 5 billion shillings to cater for the feeding program for learners for the whole academic year, with only 2 billion allocated so far, revealing that the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics is currently undertaking census to identify the exact number of learners in the country for proper planning and resource allocation.
School feeding, the balance is 3 billion, we require that. On the issue of floods, it is very there, honorable members, and the supplementary budget, we requested 500 million because it is covering a duration of 1 month and for those schools.
One, you had indicated that you have areas, grey areas in secondary school infrastructure improvement. I really would like to know those grey areas.
Can you confirm what the status is from the operationalization money for 2023-24?
Statistics is now undertaking a national education census to ascertain how many students are in school. All this is to rationalize funding on capitation.
Stanley Lugaria,